welcome back. I'm Marina, and in today's week 3, we're diving into one of the most important concepts in C++ and programming, which is beginner friendly, so you don't need to panic. So we are going to talk about pointers, arrays, and structures. So relax, sit back as I take you through and break down the steps using codes, right? Basically break down the steps and how to use the pointers, the arrays, and the structures, everything in the code. So let's dive straight into week 3. Let's get it.
Alright guys, so as we said in this lesson, we'll be talking about pointer. So let's dive straight into it. So what is a pointer? So a pointer is basically a variable that stores the memory address of another variable. So let's say instead of holding a value, it holds a location. Basically, that's the role of a pointer. So a pointer basically holds a location. So as you can see on your screen, we are coding the required and the necessary code that is needed to illustrate how a pointer works. So we have the int age, and our age is 18 because integers require a whole number, hence the perfect one to use is our age because your age cannot be in decimals. Then our int star pl, so our int star pl is a pointer to an integer, right? And our integer age, which is 18, and our end age gets the memory address of age basically. And our star pointer, that's the ptl, accesses the value at the memory address. So yes, basically that is what a pointer entails. So let's dive straight into the coding aspect of it. So we are basically out in the value of our age as well as the value of our address and that of the pointer. Basically that's what we are doing currently. So before we dive into an array is basically used to store multiple values of the same type of data in a single variable. So once again, an array, its use is to store or keep multiple values of the same data type in a single variable. So right, diving straight into what an array is. We can say arrays are used for indexing from 0, and they are very, very useful when working with fixed size data sets. Basically, so we are getting straight into our code. We are declaring integer numbers. Yeah, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So let's basically dive straight into the code. Please watch the screen, you get it. let's dive straight into compiling and running our array codes as displayed on our screen. So once again, arrays are basically used to name they are basically used for indexing from 0, and they are very, very useful with fixed size data sets. And what it basically entails is that it's used to store multiple values of the same type in a single variable. So we are diving straight into compiling and running our code to see the outcome. So yeah, since there's no error when we run effectively, we get the needed answer, showing that our codes are right. Perfect. Alright, so as you can see, we are done with what pointers and arrays are. So we are getting rid of this code so that we can dive straight into what structures entails, as we said we would discuss earlier. So yeah, let's get rid of these codes totally and talk about structures. Alright, so before we get into what structure is, let's talk about what structure actually is. So basically, alright guys, so as I said earlier, structures, what we are diving into, basically let us group variables of different types under one name, like custom data type. So we are getting into the codes of how a structure can be made. Right, so we have the struct student that comes right beneath the username space std, and the code continues as you can view on your screen. And let's talk about the function of the struct that was declared. So the struct basically lets us create a blueprint, right? And a blueprint is more like something that you follow. So a blueprint, and you can create variables like the S1 using the structure. So as we continue or as we proceed, we get to know that we created variables like the S1. Yeah, that was basically used in the whole code. S1 name, S1 age, S1.GPA, basically, and we were able to do so because of the structure. So basically the structure allows you to do these. Alright, so at this juncture, you will notice that we are totally done with our structure code and we are about to run it. Mind you, we've gotten some errors, and as a student, you have to go through your code to see what is causing the error. So actually this place, instead of a dot, we used a comma. So basically that's what is causing the error. So that error has been rectified, and we come here we also notice an error, and we are going through our code to figure out what could be the cause. It could be a dot, it could be a comma, it could be a misspelling of a word, it could be a misuse of a case letter or something else. But we are still here trying to figure out our error, and eventually we would figure out the error, because the more you go through your code, the more you get to know how this goes about. And trust me when I say we'll find out the error, and the next time when any similar error occurs, we will be able to find our way around it seamlessly. So I finally we're able to rectify it, and you can see as we run, there are no errors. We've been able to get our students' info, our name, our age, and the GPA as we need it. Alright, so guys, that ends week 3. We covered the necessary pointers, arrays, and structures, which are very key. See you in the next video. Be safe.